Elkins presents the Elkins Accounting Hour with your host, Chad Elkins.
All right. I would like to welcome everybody to the inaugural Tax Season Rant of the Week for Tax Season 2025. So, gentlemen, welcome.
Welcome. What's the temperature over there again, Chad?
12.
And it is snowy outside?
Oh, yeah, it was snowing today.
Okay.
This is,
right.
It was, the high yesterday was -1. So, yeah.
Yeah.
How you guys doing weather-wise?
58 and sunny.
I mean, it's been raining down here in Tampa, Florida for the last 2 days straight, and it's been cold rain. It was in the 40s most every day. Dropped down to 37 last night. I'm sick of it. I like south to avoid this.
You are so soft, Red. You're in Tampa. You're in one of the best towns. You're it's been raining for 2 days, and the coldest it got was 38. But I got people in northern Minnesota yeah, it was -25, and car exhaust is freezing on the streets. And you suffered Seattle for 48 hours. You're fine. You're fine.
Cappy, listen, I grew up in the north. I moved down here to avoid all this shit. All right,
yeah,
I did not pay for it to follow me down here. So.
It's amazing how weak you get, when you're down there for a year and you're all of a sudden 47 degrees. What the fuck is this bullshit, man?
I'll tell you what, one thing that is kind of interesting down here, it feels like the time passes so much slower because there really aren't any seasons. It's basically the same weather all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And all of a sudden I see people start putting up Santas in their front yard. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This isn't Christmas. It's 75 degrees outside.
Well, I've been going back and forth from the Southern Command, my Southern Command, for about 3.5 years now. And I used to be pretty hardy with the cold. Now, no, I've lost whatever adaptation I had to it.
Mm-hmm. I could deal with it for a month. I was home up north for 3 weeks around Christmas time before I came back down here. And that was enough for me. I don't need any more than that. And that's kind of always how it was when I was up there. I could deal with November. It's kind of shitty. December's fine because White Christmas and all. And January's all right. But by the time it gets around February, where it's just 10 degrees outside and there's no sunlight at all, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah. Hazmat Trucker has the best avatar ever. It's a really good avatar. Look at that avatar. That's a hell of an avatar. Look at that.
Did Vince give it to him?
Probably, yeah, of course. Vince has all the it's like watching you when you sleep. He's a creepy old man, and he likes taking pictures when you're on that one slide. Yeah, he's just a sick, perverted man.
Yeah, we're kind of cutting into his territory. I think Masculine Geeks usually goes live right now. So anyway,
wait, he has a podcast. What? Okay, I kid.
They had a book that finally came out. Their anthology, fiction series between.
I ordered it. Yep, I'm gonna do a review.
Yeah, sweet.
Well, check it out. Well, I want to first of all cheers. This is the same one I was drinking last week. This Bell's Lager of the for the Lakes. Used to be Lager of the Lakes. It's only 4.8% because I got work to do tonight.
I dig Bell's. They are a fine brewing company. They make a lot of good choices. Yeah. And
what do you got?
I'm drinking Jimmy Buffett's Land Shark Island Lager. I'm a big fan of this one. It's like a Corona, but better. So.
All right. Yeah, I like those. It's like beach type drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That and the Kona Golden Wave that Atham loves so much.
Yeah. Those are good too. I got some Yinglings in the fridge too that I might tap into at some point as well. Those are good too. But all right. So,
well, good. So
yeah, let's just talk about beer all night. Do we have to talk about taxes?
I wish to hear your pain, Red. I want to hear your pain.
So well, let's just set this up. So we opened our first tax season rant of the week. Last tax season was actually all three of us, so I was actually pretty excited when Cappy here could join us at the last minute. And RedHawk, you were telling me, what was it, a few days ago? You were like, I was asking you how things were going at H&R again, and you were like, I think I should talk about this. And I'm like, you know what? Let's have you talk about it. So do you want to give everybody your background a bit for those that don't know?
Yeah, I'll just give them the quick background. So for years after college, because like all millennials, I got a useless degree and couldn't find any major employment with my degree. So I bounced around through a bunch of jobs throughout my 20s, trying to figure out, where I was going to settle down and make a bunch of money. I was a salesman. I was working in the mortgage industry. I was in the trades for several years, and I was still working in the trades when I met Cappy and Chad a couple years ago. And throughout meeting and getting drinks and hang out with Chad a couple times, and really listening to you and Cappy talk about the accounting business so much, about how there's a major shortage and you could basically get a job tomorrow. I switched my career over and I worked the tax season last year, my first year working for H&R Block. And I was just blown away because I got a call back for the job the day of I put in my application, which is something that never occurred to me before.
It's like waking up as a hot girl, isn't it? Like all of a sudden getting attention, things are going your way. It's crazy.
It's very true. I just could not believe it. I was like, wow, like they aren't fucking around when they said there's a shortage of accountants. And like, really is. And Chad, it's even worse this year. My office is even less staffed than it was last year. It's crazy. Yeah. They are so starving for people. Like I'm telling you, you guys could be like virtually dead and get a job in these offices.
I'm hearing this across the board. Like even my colleagues are just like, we're getting flooded with new client requests. We can't take them. Are you getting these? I'm like, yeah. And this is where I refer them out. So yeah, the shortage is not improving. There's only so much Clarion I can do, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
I just do my own taxes. I don't do other people's taxes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe we're not spreading enough awareness. No, I think
it's gonna take a long time before we get. I think what was it? They were down in 5 years, 20%, 300,000 CPAs.
Yeah,
I'd have to. It's going to be years. We would have to get the firepower of Brian Kim. He might be able. No, I'm serious. I mean, because. We're very medium-sized websites compared to him. And even if you had the hated Brian Kim, sworn enemy of the Elkins Accounting Hour, championing accounting as a career, I don't think there's enough average. It just isn't going to happen. It just so we're going to be here for a while.
Well, I'm doing one of those super chat goals. So because remember, we keep these short during tax season, but if we get 5 super chats, $5 minimum, I'll tell you a quick Brian Kim story. It's pretty funny.
Oh, wow. So you're trying to maximize profits on your channel now? Is that what you're doing?
Gotta split it a few ways here.
Sure, the hell is he going to try to minimize it? Yeah, he's going to max. What are you, a Democrat?
I dig it.
Her boobs are too big. No.
But yeah, just back to like the summary I was saying. Yeah, so I worked the season at H&R last year. I think we did maybe 2 shows, maybe even 3 last year, like throughout the season, then towards the end, and then the excellent like April 15th marathon stream, which I'm so excited for this year because I want to make that part of like my yearly like routine
so fun,
every year at this point. Yeah,
Top that was the world.
That was great. That was so much fun. But yeah, basically like the TLDR, I did something like 160, 180 returns last year, and like I didn't hate it. Like there were a couple like hiccups along the way, but to be honest, there really was like no corporate bullshit because they're so desperate for people. Like the management in my office kind of just did everything they possibly could to make me happy. And I'm basically seeing more or less the same thing from this year because they just cannot turn people away. They need people in these offices so badly that, if you want to be at your desk on your phone, scrolling through Twitter when, you don't have anything else to do, it's like, well, what the fuck are they going to do? They can't. Yeah, they're just so desperate for people. There's no like corporate bullshit. There's no DEI nonsense. It's a fine place to work in all seriousness.
Well, there's the closest H&R Block to me. It's about a 7-minute walk, from my front door. And I happened to be walking around today, and I sort of peeked through the window. There was only one person in there.
Oh yeah,
working. I was like, well, that's tough because a lot of people go there. I've seen them. So I actually I went back. I was getting nostalgic. I went back and listened to the one we did last year because I wanted to see how things have changed for you since then, because some of your initial impressions, like you mentioned this 6 levels hierarchy that H&R has. Have you moved up in that now?
Yeah,
right?
I'm up. So I'm now a level 2.
Level 2.
So, yeah.
Ooh,
I know.
wow.
I know. Very prestigious.
Did you get 7 or 8 girls that showed up at your door when you got promoted to level 2?
Hey, five. All right.
Well, I mean, so this obviously involved some kind of increased compensation, right? With this?
Yeah. So I got a raise this year. Yeah, and the payment model has changed compared to first years as the second years. So you're actually starting to make a percentage off of all the clients you bring in.
No kidding. You're kind of like a partner already?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you have like the hourly flat, and then they also give you a bonus for however many returns you do. So
I have to interrupt. Like already it's better than, I'm not joking. It's better to work at H&R Block than it is the Big Four. Like it's all you're 20 seconds into this, and already it sounds like a better place to work.
Yeah. I'm really don't have like too much to complain about, to be honest, in the grand scheme of things. I mean, like the clients, they obviously like suck, almost all of them, because they're not. I was
going to get to that.
Yeah. Because like they're not your, it's like it's your discount tax service, right? So you're not dealing with, very, very competent people or people who have like their lives together.
People who pay their estimated taxes the second they can.
Yeah. I mean, occasionally you get like, well, I don't want to give away too much, but I had a guy come in today who is a retired guy and he works a part-time job at an auto parts store. And it's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I got my W-2s in today. I like coming in the day I get them. I was a business owner for 30 years. I just like doing this on the side, and he's just coming in and quick and easy. I was done in like 25 minutes with this guy. So that's like a treat, but then of course you always get, the mom who's coming in who has like 3 different kids from like 2 baby daddies and is like fighting with the one guy to claim the one kid.
That's what I think. Yeah.
So you have to deal with a lot of that shit. But
I'm curious, are you already getting that this early in the season? Oh, I bet they want need refund.
Yes,
they need it.
Yes.
They need it to live.
They need it to survive.
And they have to beat if they're fighting with the baby daddy, they got to claim the kids first. Oh my God. He does.
I had to deal with that. I had to deal with this exact same thing today.
Oh, you did?
I had somebody go into the office and was talking about, so what's like the official rules for like claiming this kid versus that kid? And I'm going through like the worksheets and everything, trying to explain. It's like, okay, so which house is the kid in majority of the time? They're like, oh, well, we both kind of have equals. I'm like, okay, well, which one is paying for most of the services for the kid? Like who's buying the food, who's buying the clothes and stuff? And of course, this guy doesn't have any like fucking receipts, so he can't, like arguably prove he's like paying for more of the kid's like life, and it's just ridiculous.
See, this is the same thing you had going on around this time last year, because I have my notes, like it's all these earned income tax credit filers because they need to get that, that free government money fast. Mm-hmm. So that's what I saw, when I popped my head in there today, I got the impression that's who I saw in there waiting.
Well, so, I remember the thing we talked about last year, and it's no different this year, except they have now adjusted the fees for inflation. So all the various H&R Block fees have increased like $5 or $10, depending on what it is. But still, like there was an earned income credit girl who came in today and had like a $7,400 like return basically, and her fees like for her like H&R like for servicing the return and then the fees attached to it was like $600, which is just so ridiculous because like the fees they attach on top of it for these earned income credit people, they just skyrocket it because they know these people are going to do refund transfers right from their tax refunds and not pay out of pocket, so they just ridiculously jack up these prices.
So we get some of our money back.
Yeah.
Okay. More or less. I
mean, like it's like the basic return is $89. Like if you just have like one W-2 and you come in, that's it. And now you're bringing in this stuff with like the earned income credit and immediately jacks it up like another $200 immediately.
Really?
Yeah. So they charge based on the amount of forms you bring in and the specific forms attached to it. So if it's just like, because they know, like this person's gonna get $7,000 and they don't have $400, to pay out of pocket, and so all right, let's jack up all those other fees.
So is it like a menu? Like you got your forms and you got your price next to it?
Yeah,
that's great. Mm-hmm. I love it. This is great.
Well, the other thing too is that they also know. I remember talking about this last year about the tax identity shield and all these other services
that thing
that H&R has.
That scam.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that they know that these people are going to add those on there too because they're not paying out of pocket, so they just have it in their brain. It's like, oh, this is just like funny money, basically. It's kind of like the same thing how people get in like mass amounts of credit card debt. It's like if you don't actually have it physically in your person, if you're not like room temperature IQ, you just spend. It's like, oh, this is something I do. Yeah, this is a problem for next week, me. This isn't a problem for today, me.
This is the problem for future Homer, not Homer today.
Yeah, exactly.
My God. So it kind of sounds like you're already having a very similar early season experience, like almost exactly the same as you did last year.
Yeah, it's almost identical. I mean, the only other thing I would say, and this is like a bigger difference, obviously, because of the location of the country I'm living in now. Yeah. There are a lot of people who come into the office and don't speak a lick of English.
You were telling me that.
And it's all Spanish. And it's like, fuck. It is infuriating to deal with these people. It is so maddening. And because they always either have a translator on the phone with them to like call up like some person they know.
Is it on a speakerphone that you can barely hear? Oh, good. Yes. Those are my favorite poor people.
Yep. There's a lot of that. Or they have like their 9-year-old or 10-year-old kid like come in and like do like translating back and forth with you. It's like, God damn it.
So can the kids say deferred taxes or?
It's
impuestos divertidos.
Yeah.
So, well, all right. Wow. The language barrier. And then I told you over text, I'm like, well, if there's any mistakes, you can just blame it on them for not, translating it properly.
Yeah. Well, it's like the same thing that I said last year, in like the end of the season rant, basically. It's like, yeah. I mean, again, talking about why people should be working at this place is there's just zero repercussions if you guys have a fuck up. There really isn't. Well, which I mean, I guess it's kind of bad for like the customer coming into the store because there's no guarantee your stuff is going to be done 100%. But like as an employee, I mean, you're not going to get in trouble for literally anything. There's just no way.
If I recall correctly, Red, last year you kind of had a moral qualm cross-selling that tax ID protection. I mean, is that kind of the same thing here where you're like, I'm not doing that to my clients?
There was one thing, and they still have it this year. It's not a fee, but it's a yes or no question that they have you answer. And it's a quicker support button, which is basically if there's an issue with your return, we're allowed to outsource your information and send it overseas for people to work on it more. And I'm like, fuck you. You are not sending things. I'm saying no. I'm not even asking clients. I fucking refuse. I'm like, you are not sending people's private information over to some bot farm in India to do your return because you don't want to pay Americans a decent wage to do the job. It's like literally fuck you. I'm not doing that. I refuse.
Good for you, man.
Good.
Glad to hear that.
See, and that's going to help them out in the long run because, Red, when you inevitably get your own tax practice, Red ain't going to fuck you over.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to the East Indians. The Pakistanis, maybe, they pay a little bit more, but not the Indians. He's gonna outsource it to Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
So, Hawk, the other note I have is you were saying that around this time you had a ton, and I mean a ton, of divorced people coming in. Is that still?
Yeah, there's quite a few. Like last week, there's always like nobody coming into the office, but then this week it started trickling up a little bit more. And then you know how it goes, Chad. It's like every week we get closer and closer. It's just going to become more and more mayhem.
Worse and worse.
I'm seeing every day I go into the office and I check my schedule for the next couple of days. I just magically see like a couple more appointments pop up like a week out from now. So like this week is kind of going to be the last week where it's relatively chill. And,
same with me, It's right at the end of January where it really starts to hit.
Yeah. So I mean, but the IRS actually has accepted all but one of the returns that I've done so far, like e-filing. I checked the e-file status today, and they say they're not supposed to collect any until February 1st. But I checked all my clients, and all of them went through without a hitch. So
that's not bad, especially when there's a competition with who's claiming the children, the dependents.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, what's up, Parker?
What Red, I didn't remember last year. I don't. Why so many divorced people? Is it they're trying to file? Is it a rush to get claim the deductions or what?
Yeah, they're basically trying to rush to claim the child as a dependent before the other person.
The child.
does.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's what they're trying to do. So
remember, kids, your parents love you very much as long as you're a
Yeah.
tax deduction.
Yeah.
yeah, well, that $2,000, Cavi, you know, it makes
More
a difference.
important than
Means a lot.
mommy needs a new handbag. All right.
Yeah. Well, this all really sounds pretty good. A few other things I'm wondering about. I know it's still pretty early, but you've got a year under your belt. Are they going to start letting you work on some more complex returns, maybe some corporate returns or partnerships?
You know, I was thinking about this actually today when I was at my desk and didn't really have shit to do yet, but I'm worried that I'm going to kind of be pigeonholed into doing a lot of like the much more basic returns this year, and like all of your very, very basic W-2s are just going to be sent over to me, because basically the only people that are still in this office, they're people who have literally worked there for like 15 years, right? And they're just like not moving. So these people have like their EAs, you know, they have their established client base. They work on, you know, more advanced returns. And I'm going to be a little concerned that all like the basic bitch stuff is just going to get sent over to me because like lack of seniority, which actually kind of sucks, because ideally I wanted to work on like some more difficult stuff this year than last year. So we'll see how that ends up going. But I suspect that I'm going to be stuck with a bunch of like basic bitch stuff, which, you know, I mean, I guess it's okay if you just like literally want a job and you make money all the same. But for me, when the end state goal is to like strike out on my own and not work for somebody else, I actually kind of want experience from these people, to be honest.
You got to leverage the good position you have over them, because they are desperate for you not to quit. I'm fairly certain about that. So maybe at the right time, give it a good month, 3 or 4 weeks, maybe push, be like, hey, these W-2s, you know, these 1040s, they're great and all, but I really am interested in learning a little more complexity when it comes to these things. Do you think they'd be receptive to that?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like,
won't they have to be?
That's what
I think I have to get a little bit more of a feel of everybody in the offices so far too. And I've only met my manager once, which funny enough, well, I can't say too much about her on air because it's very like identifiable stuff.
Sure.
Is she hot?
We could, maybe.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
but
Man, it's gonna be a great tax season. All right.
We can talk about this later, but basically, I kind of want to talk with her a little bit more and see what I can work out as it relates to like more difficult stuff. And honestly, I've been trying to like make, you know, friendly with the like senior tax people in the office, kind of just saying, hey, well, if you need like a little bit of extra help, like scanning in some documents or typing in some numbers on you know, some of these more complex stuff, like just let me know, you know, and we'll see where that goes. So.
Chad, you have experience in this field. Should or should not Red Hawk bang his boss? I want to know, what is your opinion?
So the answer is yes, but with a qualifier. I mean, make sure that you are fully 100%. You don't care. You're just prepared to lose the job, and you don't give a shit. And even so, I'm sure if I asked Rare this question, he'd be like, just do it anyway. You know, screw the.
No, I think we could safely say we all agree not to bang your boss in a career as you're going through into accounting, and maybe wait until you leave to a new employer. But generally, we could say it is a bad idea to bang your boss, right? We're going to go with that.
But remember, they really need him. Like, they really need him.
Well, not on. Well, we'll wait until April 16th. All right.
Yeah, okay.
No, yeah.
I don't know. What will you do a third year? You think, Red, or
I don't know. I prefer not to, but I mean, I guess it really just depends. Like, do I feel like I'm ready? You know, like to strike out on my own kind of deal. So, I mean, part of me has thought about maybe doing one more year next year and kind of taking advantage of having them pay for all of my courses to get EA certified.
I was going to ask you about
which
those,
I could do, which they do. Like in the summer season, they will pay for all of your training and all your material. So I might end up taking advantage of that. I'm not sure. I did take a QuickBooks class over December, like one of those online seminar ones, just kind of like to get my feet wet. So we'll see. It really is going to depend on how confident I am after this tax season, to be honest.
So now I have to update the course. I don't have a chapter about not banging your boss. I need to add that chapter to the presentation.
I'll do a stream on how to do it and whether you should or should not do it.
Let's just assume we don't want you to get sued, and let's just say it's a bad idea to have sex with anybody at work, so don't do it. How's that sound?
I was just a helpless intern. That's all I can say.
My left nut, you were.
Good for you, Chad.
Yeah. Oh, this was many moons ago. So, okay, well, it all sounds pretty good. I mean, is there any, besides maybe some more complexity with what you're working on, are you okay with, are the hours still pretty flexible? Is there any?
Oh, yeah. Yep. In the office, and again, just totally 100% flexible hours, basically. Like, you could work 1 day a week if you want to. You could work 7 days a week, and I'm sure they take you. I mean, I'm doing the same thing I did last year, 5 days. I do 3 days on, a day off, 2 days on, a day off, and then back over again. I don't like the weekends, like 2 days in a row kind of shit. I much rather prefer, like, Thursdays are my off days and Sundays are my off days. And I like that way better. Well, helps me get through the week way easier. So if that's something you guys want, yeah, make it however you like. I will say this, though, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you, Chad, in text, but I think I did. They tried to set me up in 2 different offices.
You did tell me that, yeah, and they had no leverage to do that.
No, they had literally zero, and I shut that shit down very, very quickly.
They want to step up. What do you mean, get promoted in 2 different offices?
No, they want me to work in 2 different offices.
They want me to commute 2 different
They just
places.
need warm bodies in there because they're so short-staffed on people. They just have nobody to staff these offices. So they're like, oh, well, can we put you in this office a couple days a week and then this other office the other few days a week? Yes, Cappy?
I'm confused. I keep hearing from people on interwebs that there is no shortage, but you seem to tell me that there is a shortage.
Oh, there's a huge fucking shortage.
So so what you're saying right now, Red, quite literally, as long as you don't stink and you're reasonably competent, you could walk into an H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt office right now, and they'll take you, like train you and test you and all that. And assuming you pass, you got a job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just wanted to know.
I mean, there's even one case, there's one guy in my office that everybody else in the office is complaining about because he sucks so much and they want to get rid of him, but management isn't doing it because they just need the body in the office, basically. Because I'm telling you guys, my office has 15 desks in it and there's only 4 that are occupied.
Wow.
It's nobody there.
Well, I mean, is there crazy. There's no remote work available? Or, I mean, people probably wouldn't do it anyway.
There is, but you have to be very, very senior in the business to do it. They're really trying to push people to work in the office, which honestly is fine. I find that I would work better in an office than at home, to be honest, but we'll see.
Okay.
It almost sounds like this is a perfect opportunity for every accounting major right now to go work a weekend or two, like a shift or two at H&R Block on the weekend. I mean, you're not going to get better experience.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't, to be honest. I mean, again, they're not going to pigeonhole you into working minimum 40 hours or some shit. Yeah. I'm serious. They would probably take a fucking corpse. I'm not even joking. Oh, they're just, it's crazy.
Wow. I mean, I knew this was going to be the case. I guess I have this naive idea that maybe the market would catch on and, you could either attract more people to work in the industry with higher pay or something. But yeah, just from everything, not only that you've said, but what I've been talking to my colleagues about and seeing on the internet, it's worse. It's worse this year.
Yeah.
So guys, now's the time to get in. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. It could be a very, very, I remember talking about this last year. I was shocked how easy it was to get into this thing. Really. Mm-hmm. It's the onboarding process is so simple. All you have to do is pay for the $150 class. You pass your 3 tests. You could, if you really wanted to, you could power out the entire course in a weekend. If you just powered through it nonstop. I mean, it'll take you maybe 25 to 30 hours, maybe, to complete the whole thing. And like I said, I put in an application, I got a call for a job the day of, which is crazy. I don't know. Have you guys ever gotten a call for a job the day of? I know I never have.
No.
only when I was teaching dance classes would district or something call me up, say we need a dance instructor, but it was rare.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's like becoming a hot chick. Now you know what it's like, Red Hawk.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, the closest thing you're gonna know, if you're one of us to being like a hot chick, is if you're established and people find you and they want your help professionally, and then you're getting all these requests, and then you're just like, sorry. So it's weird. I now understand how these girls on Tinder and Bumble feel.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's interesting. Like if you go on dates with girls and they show you like their dating app profiles and you see just the hundreds of like matches that they have to go through, it's crazy.
And so now translate that into your career. I mean, you're not going to have hundreds and hundreds of job offers, but it's a hell of a lot. See, and that's what you're in the right field because it's not pulling teeth to get a fucking job.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And like there's just no like real like corporate bullshit and stuff. It's like there's still like suggestions from on high of like the you get your opening daily emails from Max Refund, from H&R Block Central, basically saying we really need to up our calling like campaigns or whatever. And of course like nobody fucking does it, because like you're not like actually being held to it, because like they're not going to fire you if you're not doing cold calls during the day. So it is one of those times where it really just is like a very chill work environment. I mean, you're going to be pissed when like a pain in the ass client comes in the office, but like, what can you do? Not every job is perfect, right?
Right.
And last year you sort of were saying your supervisor was kind of like a young newbie, and this year it's an older hot chick, so that doesn't sound too bad.
Oh no, she's younger than I am.
Oh really?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So,
wow. Maybe we should get her on here.
LOL. But yeah, I mean, but she's well, it's even like there's a shortage even for the managers because she's got like 4 offices she manages. Just like I was saying, I've only met her once, like the one time. Yeah, and they like hardly ever see her.
Is she a CPA or an EA or just?
No, she has 0 tax experience. Period. 0.
What?
Yeah, she doesn't even know how to do taxes. Yeah.
Okay, I believe the hot part then. All right. Well, okay. There were a couple of some interesting questions here. So if you wouldn't mind, I don't even know if this is a thing, but RedHawk, do you know if H&R Block even does investigate any type of dependency conflicts, or is it basically just like
it's not our job to go look through like custody battles or dependency stuff like this. It's literally bring us in your documents and we fill out the forms. It's like it's not my response. It's like the same thing with like business expenses and everything else. It's like I'm not the IRS, so I'm not auditing your business if you are actually using this as an expense. Like if it sounds a little bit shady, I can suggest to you, I'm like, listen here, pal. All right. Like, are you sure that this actually qualifies? All right. Because it's not going to be on my ass when you get audited, but it's also like, it's not my job, because again, like I was saying, like this is a giant multinational corporation, right? It's like, it's not my responsibility. Like if this guy gets audited, it doesn't come out on my ass.
Right.
You get more business if they get audited, I bet, because they have to file an amendment, right? They probably come back to you guys.
Yeah, maybe.
Right. If they get a letter from the IRS that's clearly their fault, not yours, they're going to come right back to you and be like, oh, so you didn't give us that one W-2. We'll put that right in there. This amendment will be $350. You now owe, $500 to the IRS. Any questions? So, yeah. And then I thought this was another good question because some people are asking about the bonus. Like, are they doing bonus? What is the bonus situation there?
The bonus is attached to how quickly you progress through the level up systems that they have. I got a $750 bonus last year when I upgraded to level 2 by the end of like, I think the deadline was like May 30th or something like that. So it's like a couple additional classes and a couple additional tests or something like that. And they give that to you. And that's where the incentives come in. So they want you to level up through the system because here's another thing. Like if you guys like first time workers in there, you get like a little badge with your number next to it in like the appointment manager. So they will not match a like really complex return, like a level 5 return with like a level 1 preparer. Like they won't just throw you to the wolves and say, here, do this extremely complex return that you've never like seen before. No, they will only assign you like a return that's with your actual number. Sometimes like a couple of them might float through, like if you have a walk-in or something like that. But I think I think I might have had like 5, maybe 6 of those last year. And I just had somebody else in the office help me with it if there was something too complex for me. So it was
okay.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was in over my head at all working last year, to be honest. Like anytime I had some questions come up, it wasn't that difficult to get answers for them.
Okay. It all sounds pretty good to me. Well, I don't really have any other questions about it. You're glad that you're still doing this, right? Like it's still a pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean, like as it relates to like the career change in general, yeah. I mean, I have no regrets about it. I mean, I'm sure I'll be feeling way better when I've got my own practice and get set way more of my own terms and that kind of stuff. But well, we could track that in years to come, right?
Yeah, that's the goal, man. Maybe this time a year from now, we'll all be on here and you'll be talking about the opening stages of your own practice. So yeah. Well, yeah, believe it or not, we got a bunch of super chats. Then I'll tell the Brian Kim story. But Claire,
we got enough we met the goal.
It happened fast because we got hat and clogs in the audience.
Oh, hats here. Okay, cool.
But did you have any other questions for Red Hawk about this? It sounds like it's going well.
Yeah, are you going to work extension season then as well?
It depends. I have 2 really big traveling trips I'm taking this year. So it depends on where those fall under and if I honestly like feel like working when I come back from those. But we'll see.
And you have turned into the hot chick. You only work when you feel like it. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, hey, everyone go pick up Reconnaissance Man right now on Amazon and get your tips for touring the great United States. Cappy, you'll love this. Last year I drove 35,000 miles across the United States and visited over 32 states.
Holy you went 30,000. That's the equivalent of almost 3 cross-country. No, I'm sorry, 10 cross-country trips.
Yeah, I was all over the place. Yeah, 32 states. No, wow. Saw a bunch of national parks. Went to a bunch of museums, bunch of zoos. Climbed a couple mountains. No, it was great. Everyone should do it.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
No, that's. I was just seeing if he was going to do extension season, but it sounds like it's working out. Look, this is way better than my post-college graduating career. It sounds like it's better than your post-college graduating career. And it just sounds like this is how things should be working, where you go in, your employer needs you, and there's no bullshit because it's a meeting of equals.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I'll stress this again to people in the chat. I mean, Chad, most of your audience probably already knows this, but you could literally start this job as soon as you're done with high school. Like immediately. You don't have to go to college. You don't need any background classes or anything like this. You don't even need to like take an accounting class or some shit. The software is very user friendly, does most, if not all, the math for you. And if you can just pass the class, and it's literally like $150 and 30 hours of your time. $150 and 30 hours is your barrier to entry, which is, it's fucking stupid. It's like, why isn't everyone doing this?
You could do it in high school. I'm not saying you should, but you could.
Yeah.
No, we should all join theater and band and go play basketball. That's what we should. Why would we want to be an 18-year-old making $50 an hour? Why would high school kids want to do that? No, keep making your $9 an hour serving latte. Every high school kid should be doing this. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and again, like just to fluff you guys a little bit more, I certainly would not have done this had I not like watched both of you guys over the years, to continuously talk about this.
Claire loves praise. Yeah.
I mean, hey, like I hate giving Cappy praise, as much as everybody else.
I despise it. I despise it.
Yeah.
Just one final question for you. This is from Monero Mateo, who started his own practice just about a year ago too. I was giving girls. We did a stream a while back. I just was wondering, do you ever plan to maybe do some bookkeeping, or are you just?
I should. Like I said, I did do a brief QuickBooks online class in December, one of the really quick 3-day ones. So I'm trying to get my feet wet with that stuff. So I should be in the future. I just don't really know what I want to specialize in for my practice quite yet.
Okay,
so.
You don't have to know. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Which one of you scholars would like to read?
I'll do it. Red, he contributed with his experience. I'll contribute by reading English, unlike half of Red's clients.
Well, these are mostly your fans anyway, so.
Egg clogs. $5. Hello, Aaron. Stop doxing me. What are you talking about? I don't even know who the hell. I know I've met him once. I don't even remember his original name.
I haven't seen Hat and Clogs in a long time, like on my shows or even yours when I pop in. So I'm glad you're back and healthy. Presumably, Hat and Clogs. Well, yeah. He's healthy with the super
hat
chat.
Again. $5. It's a talking hawk, and it wants to do my taxes.
I mean,
Hawk, wait, dude.
That's Henry Hawk. Yeah,
that's your logo.
The Hawk.
The Henry Hawk from the Looney Tunes. Yeah.
I got the Atham Muppet. Here's the Atham Muppet.
Oh my God! When did you get that?
I gotta get out of the. Otherwise, I can't.
Atham, look that up.
Oh, I wish Atham was on.
That's amazing.
You could get a Hawk Muppet, right? And then you could run ads on YouTube, and you could be the Tax Hawk, right? And hey, and you should go get that URL right now, the Tax Hawk. And it's a cute hawk, and hey, if you got questions, come to the Tax Hawk. And then
I call all my clients that don't like loudmouth snooks. Yeah.
No one's gonna get that.
No,
You're just a loudmouth schnook.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Hat and Clogs, but we got more.
Hat again for $5. Hi, Chad. He says, smiley face, clap, money, Easter Island statue, and more bag of money.
He loves that Easter Island statue. Well, hey, Hat and Clogs, it really is good to see you. I miss seeing you on here, especially when you give super chats like that. We got one more from Hat and Clogs, then we'll get to Bull Muscles.
Hat Cappy says, China, we're going to make Mexico pay for rebuilding China. Just trying to hit the target. What is love, baby? Don't hurt me. Don't hurt. I think Hat and Clogs might have had a couple.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Do that every now and then.
Just a few. Yeah.
Some. So, well, thank you, Hat and Clogs. And I also, that was one of my songs in high school. Baby, don't hurt me.
Yeah, let's not remember the 90s and the 80s again. Bull Muscle, $5. Thoughts on 72T versus IRA conversions for early retirees. Also, 225 for 25 reps. Oh, dude, he's jacked.
Yeah.
Personal record, 83 and sunny.
He's in Hawaii.
Bushwhack Tripler Ridge for fun recently.
Dude, yeah, he's over there in Hawaii. He and I, we've talked a lot over chat and everything. So, yeah.
He has an interesting background. He's very interesting character.
Do either of you know what the 72T is?
Never heard of it.
You're going to tell me.
It's basically, it allows you, how when you have a retirement account like an IRA or 401k, you can't take penalty-free withdrawals until you're at least 59 and a half years old. You both knew that, right? Or you know that. So there's this rule called the 72T where it lets you withdraw your retirement funds from your retirement accounts before the age of 59 and a half without the 10% penalty. But there's these qualifications, like you have to take at least 5 substantially equal periodic payments. It's just this kind of loophole that they have. So what Bull Muscle is asking, if he should do that, or should he convert his traditional IRA to his Roth? And my answer to that is, Bull, it's really hard to answer, because if you have if you're in a very low tax bracket that might not be low forever, I would say do the Roth conversion, because you want to convert, traditional to Roth when you're not going to get taxed really heavily on the conversion. So I would lean towards that without knowing your situation fully. The 72T, I just feel like the IRS can't really understand that themselves, and it could lead to a lot of bottleneck paperwork and everything. So let me check the chat just to see if anybody else has an opinion on that. No, I don't see anything. But yeah, I lean towards the Roth IRA conversion without fully knowing what your tax situation is. But it's a pretty good question. Clary?
Jorge S., $5. Just submitted my federal and state taxes. Ended up getting a $400 refund, laughing my ass off. Well, that's better than nothing.
Well, yeah. I mean, hopefully you did it via TurboTax or something instead of walking into H&R Block and them charging you $350 for
sure.
$400.
Yeah, two extra papers.
Well, Chad can confirm this too, and I'm sure every accountant out there can confirm this as well. You will have to tell clients 100 times, like a week, basically, that their refund is not free money that is generated out of
Yes.
thin air. This is the fact that our government sucks at its job and it overcharged you on your W-2s and you are getting money back. This is not just money created out of thin air. So
I mean, it's not, what's funny is they're going to think, Donald Trump, man, I got my tax refund from Donald
Right.
Trump. Yeah, I got elected. Look at all this money I got.
Hey, you know what? I'm totally fine with that. It's fine.
I'm
let
fine
him,
with
let him
that
vote
too.
for the Donald.
Yeah. Be really interesting to see what they're going to do now that they're back in power here.
Apparently, people are talking about like there's musings from the White House that they are looking into abolishing the IRS. Now, I mean,
Well,
wouldn't that be? I mean, it'd be interesting, but
that would be
seems highly
an
unlikely.
amazing long-term thing that would very much help the economy and the American people going generations forward. But we'll see.
I'm not holding my breath.
I'm totally fine
it to hell, but
yeah. Hey, I'm totally fine with a McKinley economic system. Just fund this whole thing on tariffs. Totally fucking fine with it.
Todd Geiger, $5. How can I best summarize my 1099s for my accountant's brokerage, 1099s, 1099s, treasury, I don't know. You just give it to them, don't you? They're already organized for him.
Yeah.
Actually, well, I have a good answer. If you're doing this fully virtual, like pretty much all of my clients, like this is always a thing. Please just label them properly. You wouldn't believe how many times they upload something. They either mislabel it as their W-2 or it's like, file XYZ, just say 1099 from Goldman Sachs.
Who is like excellent with his naming convention on files when he gives them to you, Chad?
I don't know. Is it somebody participating in this stream?
It might be someone participating in the stream. He has very precise naming conventions.
All right. So Clary tends to be a pretty good client. He doesn't bother me with questions. He's organized. He has his GF handle his bookkeeping, so it's in order, right?
Yes.
His flaw is he just wants to cross too many items off the list, including giving the government his money way sooner than he needs to. So, yeah, that's his tragic flaw.
I will say this on the topic of properly labeling things and such. One of the biggest nightmares, and this happens at least once a day, is a client comes in and all of their documents are screenshots on their phone. And,
really?
Yeah. I'm like, no.
I used to deal with that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing this. So immediately, I've learned over this last year, that I ask the clients immediately as soon as they sit down. I was like, okay, where are your documents? And they're like, oh, it's on my phone. And I just hand them my business card. I'm like, you are emailing this to me right now. And I'm printing off a physical copy because I'm not looking at your tiny ass fucking phone and zooming in on each of the things. And then meanwhile, your phone is ringing and you're getting text messages and some shit. I'm like, no, we're not dealing with this shit.
One of the problems I had last tax season, there was an uptick in it. A lot of people were taking screenshots from their laptop screens where you can't really see it. I was like, just download the damn file and send it to me. So
would you guys like to see my poor unreliable person impersonation?
Sure.
Uh-oh.
That was it. There's my poor unreliable person
as seen in every subway car. And
yes, I see this constantly.
Yeah.
God. Pretty good impression, actually. Oh, what's up, the real Uncle Hector? Right. Who do we got next? Oh, Todd Geiger again.
Todd Geiger again for $5. I don't pay my estimated taxes early. I can make 4.5% holding the funds in 4-week T-bills. You're missing out, Cappy. Yes, but you don't, Todd. You don't understand. It is worth more than the 4.5% to me to see Chad paint. His pain is worth, it's like a 7.8% rate of return.
But it's not just me, it's his own GF that's just probably just putting her
That is another reason for that too. Yeah, I mean, keep giving me reasons. It's
Oh man. Well, I think the rates are about to go down, so there's that.
Arturo Galindo, $5. Working for the H&R Block first year as senior tax analyst. I have 1 year of experience only. Any advice you can recommend to make the most of it?
RedHawk, do you have any advice for him since you've done this for a bit?
I don't know. I mean, I think we kind of covered it throughout the stream, basically. Mm-hmm. It's like just find your flow, understand that most of your clients that are coming in are not going to be 100% on the ball. So you're going to have to, as Chad says, you're going to have to like coach them or train them. Basically from immediate, like as soon as they come in the office, like I was saying with asking them, where are your documents? No, you're emailing this to me. I'm not looking on your phone. Now, basic stuff like that, well, is all I can really recommend.
Yeah, just don't let anybody push you around. I mean,
Yeah, that too.
The company needs you there, and you're not there to suck up.
They
the
absolutely need you way more than you need them.
Don't bang your boss.
Well, I mean, it depends, but
My truth, the king. $5. Clap those cheeks and then get harassment suit. Then you can live off the lawsuit against Hotel and Romeo instead of gainful employment. She came on to me. Yeah.
Oh, about sleeping with your boss. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a senior. She's in a position of power.
No, don't.
Right?
How about we don't be Democrat women? Let us not file false harassment complaints. How about that? Let's just...
even if I was to get paid out the ass for that, it would just be so much torture and so much work when I would rather be driving around the country, going to national parks than dealing with like court hearings. It just wouldn't even be fucking worth it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go to the lowest depths of hell, which is where those people go. So The real Uncle Hector, $2. How many blue dress shirts does Brian Kim own?
I'm glad you brought up Brian Kim, because once we get to these last two super chats, I got this funny story. This is from like 2017.
Sailing Semantis, $5. Just finished my third return for H&R Block today. Slow start.Ey're saying I should have 600 returns under my belt by April the 15th.
600?
That's a shitload.
I think that's
no.
I mean,
that's a lot. That's a lot, dude. I mean, how many hours are you working?
We got 120 days, 4 months. Wait, 1, 2, 3. No, you got 3 months.
How many hours are you working?
Yeah, that's
3 times 4, 12 times. No, that's not impossible. Hang on.
Well, it can be done, but I mean, you're going to get burned out, and it's just not, the process isn't efficient enough where you can easily do that.
Yeah,
that's like a return every 50 minutes. I think he could do it.
Well, if he's working like nonstop.
Yeah, 40 hours a week between now and the 15th. He can do
it. Maybe, but I don't know. That's
assuming you guys all a bunch of Biden
that's also assuming. That's also assuming
work.
every one of them is a super simple return too.
I don't know. I was hanging out with a bunch of millennials and
Well,
Zoomers.
just don't burn
here.
yourself out. I saw in the last stream we were in. I was like, mistakes I made. Don't burn yourself out.
Watch. Are you guys ready? You sitting down? I am granting Sailing Semantis Gen X certification. Is a certified Gen X or no?
Well, so am I. At the very last year.
No, I'm taking it away from you because you're whining and complaining about doing a tax return every 50 minutes.
I'm not arguing like the guy is like going to burn himself out. I'm arguing just the logistics of it, because those all be extremely simple.
Sailing, these are people who are only like 20 hours a week. What are you talking about? Where's my avocado?
Let me change. Sailing Samantha's, you don't really want to do 600, because ideally when you've done, a couple hundred, they're moving you on to more complex tax returns, which take longer. So it really wouldn't be good if you were doing 600. You'd just be doing the same type of return. And you and I have had exchanges over comments and even over email where I think you want to do this on your own at some point. So you want to up the complexity a bit.
I mean, he'd get like pigeonholed kind of in the same position where I'm hoping I don't get this year. So, but we'll see. I guess I'll give you guys an update throughout the season as to how that's going. So.
Absolutely. And here's our final one, and then it's
Naughty DJ Aftershock, $5. But dude, bro, H&R Block is like not prestigious, bro. Only the big foreign consulting washout lames go there, bro. We be roasting those losers, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm so good at the impersonation because I went to the Carlson School of Management, where everyone is a fucking moron.
Yeah, even the alumni. But not Clary. No,
I'm not. I'm one of the few people that actually graduated. I'm not. I wish I was joking. I will never hire anyone from there.
Did you do a calculation once as to how much money you prevented that school from making? Like,
somewhere around a couple tens of millions, maybe, or at least millions. I'd have to do the numbers again. It's in the millions, and I really got to get back on that and prevent more people from going to that school.
You did auction off your diploma.
No,
right?
I never got around to that because I started building my house, and I should auction off my degree here.
Cappy, you should just keep it. Remember where you came from.
No, I want someone else to have that. And they say, look, I got Eric Clary's college degree. Look at this. What's it worth? Well, now it's worth something because someone actually paid for it. It's like $400 or whatever. But yeah, I don't need it. It really hasn't gotten me anywhere.
Well, story time, gentlemen. I want to take you back to, I believe this was either 2017 or 2018. I think it was 2017. See, I don't know if Brian Kim had started his YouTube channel yet back then. He probably had, but I didn't know about it. And I knew Brian because we'd gone to the same, like, you know, networking events for CPAs in the area. And he is a very nice guy. Like I was joking when I was like, oh, I don't like him. But there was this one encounter like early on where, this was tax season 2017. There was this client that came to me that seemed pretty difficult to deal with, but I saw that like it was she was leaving Brian's firm and coming to me, and they charged her a lot. And so and because I knew Brian, I was like, hey man, and it's, so I can say this, her name was Karen. Her name was literally Karen. So I go, hey Brian, you know, talked to you last year or whatever. I got this one, you know, I don't want to steal a client from you, but I mean, what do you think? What happened here? I mean, she was bad mouthing your firm. And then Brian writes back and he goes, Chad, I've copied so-and-so as one of Brian's employees. I've copied so-and-so on this email. And we'll call him Tim or whatever. He's like, Tim, Chad wants to know why we're no longer working with Karen Young. Please warn him as much as possible against working with this woman. And so, yeah, Timmy was like, well, there was this and that. And, you know, I wasn't close to established yet. So I was,
debating.
I was debating it, but I was like, you know what? I gave her an estimate. They warned me about this. I felt like I would know how to deal with her. And so, yeah, I took her on. Oh my God, that was the biggest fucking mistake, dude. I mean, it was so bad that I tried so many times to like make this woman happy, which, remember, don't do this when you're early on. Don't fall for that crap. You know, they're a dime a dozen. And she had so many complaints. She was so needy. And then she complained about the price, you know, the fees that I charged. And so what happened was there was this happy hour. This was after the tax season. And I didn't know they were going to be there, but I saw Brian and this guy, Tim, sitting next to each other. You know, it was like the accounting thing. The second I walk in and they saw me, they both looked at me and they just started cracking up. They're like, yeah, they just lost it. And then we all, you know, I fired her after that.
Now now I know why your hatred for Brian Kim is
no
there.
hatred.
I know
for
why.
Brian Kim.
I now know why he's your sworn adversary.
Absolutely not. I respect Brian Kim quite a bit. And the corollary to this, Clara, do you remember a few years ago? So I fired her, whatever. And then for whatever reason, a few years later, she gave me a 1-star Yelp review, which I didn't give a shit about. But if you guys want to go to my Yelp page and you search me, there's only one 1-star review. And that is who the fuck I just told you about.
Well, good thing. I remember you were worried about bad Yelp reviews. And then didn't I like send a bunch of my audience in to like go write some reviews? We took care of it. Yeah.
And so, and that was stupid of me to freak out about that, but I'd never really got one before. But if you do go and look it up, you can see what other reviews they've left. Look at the one they left right before mine where they trashed Brian's company. So, yeah. And then look at the rest of the reviews, 1 star for everybody. That's why Karen fits. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you both for being here. Any final thoughts? Do you want to hawk anything?
Well, RedHawk,
see what you did there.
You said you owe at least a little bit to where you are now to me and Chad. Now, how did you get our information and advice to know what to do?
I don't remember, when did I first start? I first started listening to Cappy.
So you started listening to us, right?
Oh yeah,
it's a couple years ago. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So several years ago, you started listening to me. Then you started listening to Chad. So how many hours did you have to listen to slowly get the strategy that you had to execute on that you are now? I mean, how many hours was that? Years?
I don't know. It's kind of difficult to say because like I watched a lot of your shows, but obviously like not everyone. So I didn't hear like everyone you were talking about, like the accounting stuff, and didn't catch everyone with Chad. But I think, I don't know, Cappy, like I think I started listening to you in like 2018 or something. So
would you say 100 episodes?
Yeah, maybe something like that. Maybe a little bit more.
That's a lot
I
of
don't know.
time, 100 episodes, isn't it, Red Hawk?
It is. Yes.
What
Yeah.
what if I told you today
You can
there's
take
a
a class
condensed version where you can find everything you ever needed, and you don't have to listen to 100 hours of me bitching about Democrats? Would you take that opportunity?
Where can I get this, Cappy? You're saying that
Funny you should mention that, Red, because
Who wants
if
to
you
do
go link down below, I'm sure
It's there.
Chad has
The link is there.
Chad has a link
Yep.
to a teachable course we have that's titled, what's the title again, Chad?
I was going to see if RedHawk wanted to enthusiastically.
Red, you want to give it a shot?
The world's greatest accounting career.
Wow, that's your first time is better than Chad's first 87 tries at that. That is that's great.
Hey, I'm a mellow dude. But yeah, the world's greatest accounting career is linked below. I don't know. Every piece of feedback I get from that's pretty positive. I don't know what you get.
Yeah, I haven't. I wish Teachable would allow us people to rate it. There's just no rating system. So, but yeah, if you guys were interested in becoming like Hawk, but not having to listen to me and Chad blither blather for 100 episodes, we have consolidated all that information to one conveniently consumable course called The World's Greatest Accounting Career. Chad has it linked below. That is the link that Chad steals a 25% commission of my money, and it goes there. But yeah, if you were interested in that path and kind of being where Hawk is, how long have you been at this? Like, this is year and a half you're into it?
Yeah. I mean, I started the H&R Block class in December of 23. So
okay, so a year and change. So if you would like to know what it's like to be a hot girl where people want you, why don't you pursue a career in accounting and take the world's greatest accounting career? Link below.
Gentlemen, on that note.
Oh, Alexander, 10 generous dollars. Got your world's greatest accounting career and already passed part 3 of the EA. Thanks for the show, Chad. Again, look at that. Well, there's so many people winning. So many people winning.
Thank you, Alexander. That's awesome, man. If you want, shoot me an email. Let me know what you're going to be up to now that you've completed that. So, guys, thank you again. RedHawk will get you on for some more updates about how tax season is going. And Clary, I'll be doing one of these every week. Wait till you hear the one about Illinois next week. So when should we hang out, you guys?
We should hang out soon.
Soon.